The full moon is tomorrow, but I feel like it's already working it's having its effect on me. Normally, I notice the effect of the full moon in I have a hard time falling asleep um, days before a full moon or um, and the day of the full moon and maybe a day or two after the full moon. Sometimes I have a hard time falling asleep, but it also will reveal things that you've kind of pushed out of your mind, maybe because you're ashamed of them or you just don't want to think about it. It's not your favorite stuff and you push it aside. Sorry about the background noise. It's my dog chewing on one of his toys. um but anyway, today I've just thought of um some people who uh, bad behavior that when I was younger, um, I mean, I was taught to be polite. I was taught to respect my elders, and I took a lot of crap from older people out of respect for them. Um, but what I've learned as I've gotten older is respect is something you earn. If I had it to do over again today, I would not. I Now here's the thing: have manners, be kind to people, okay? Because what you put out in the world is coming back at you. All right, so be thoughtful about that. But also, when somebody is being disrespectful of you, that's not something you and just, sometimes you do because you don't know how to handle it. But I, I look back and I think I took a lot of crap from people that, and I tolerated behavior because I didn't know how to handle it differently. Um, and sometimes I trusted people because I really liked them. I trusted them more than they were worthy of. And I gave them respect. I showed them respect that they didn't earn. And they weren't worthy of that either. Now, there's a common decency and a common level of respect you should give to everybody. Just a common amount, you know? And then that's very different from the amount that you give to somebody who has earned your trust and earned your respect. Okay? So anyway, I didn't know that back then. I didn't know. So I let people speak into my life, that people that were jacked up. I didn't know. I was young. And growing up in Christianity, you have traveling preachers come through, all kinds of stuff, and you think, wow, they're really great. And there's one person in particular who I really kind of looked to him and his wife, like to be like a big brother and big sister to me. And they were at times like that, but in the time that we did have a kind of friendship, I came to realize they were not all that in a bag of chips. they they were doing the best they could. They didn't owe me anything, But what I have issue with is that he always wanted to keep me under his thumb. He was the one who knew everything, and everyone else was lesser than him, including his wife. And she also had that issue. They both felt free to tell you, well, you really have to, like I remember them telling me things like, well, in a situation like that, you really have to love somebody and really, and would say to me that I didn't love people enough to do that kind of ministry or whatever. So, there were just a lot of different things, and I don't want to regurgitate all the many reasons why I slowly separated myself from them, because they both encourage you out of one side of their mouth, and then out of the other side of their mouth, they're making sure they tighten the screws on you and keep you in your place. Well, you know what? That's not what friends do. And if this is the kind of love that you're talking about, you could take a hike. One of the things that I found really difficult to hang with in Christianity, and what really, this finally clicked for me. I hadn't been going to church for a long time. That was a choice I made. I didn't want to. I felt there was something better and something different. Not that I was better, but that I was supposed to do something different, and so I did. I followed after being born and raised into Christianity, and you go to church every time the doors are open and blah, 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 and all the stuff, all the indoctrination, all the, brainwashing, basically. I know any Christians listening to this, if I post it on YouTube, your toes might be curling hearing this, but it's just true. And you don't have to take this from me. So you know what? Hit the pause button and go to find another video that scratches your back in just the right way. Because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here speaking about my experience and what's true for me. So, I got to the point where I was just like, you know what? I don't want to hear anything from you about your God, your beliefs, your whatever, if you can't even manage friendship 101. What little kids can do in kindergarten, grown adults, because they're tripping over their religious rules and, just all the things. And, it wasn't supposed to be about rules, but that's what it all boiled down to. And then everybody policing each other. You know what I say to that? Bye. Bye-bye now. No. This was not love or peace or freedom that I knew from my own personal interaction with source energy, what I grew up knowing as God. When I had those moments of being in the manifest presence of it, so big, love so deep, so beyond what your mind can comprehend. I have felt that presence. It's touched my life. I am forever changed by it, because of it. And also, it's made a very clear line for me to follow. Anything that doesn't line up with this, that comes all haughty and, full of itself and saying this is how it is and how it must be. No, you're wrong. You're full of something stinky. Because that kind of love, that presence, there's peace, there's freedom, there's grace for you to be where you are and room for you to grow. And no need for anybody to be looking down their nose at you and policing you or trying to keep you under their thumb. So anyway, this particular person I'm thinking of, I thought of him this morning and thought about, I was a child when I met you. I had childish hopes, that you'd be like a big brother to me, that your wife would be like a big sister to me. And on occasion they were. But like I said, we grew apart mostly because I pulled away from them, because I began learning that I couldn't trust them. I couldn't trust them with my heart. I had, poured out my heart to them on occasion, and rather than try to help me learn and grow, I got a bunch of garbage. And here's the thing. It's okay, because even when we have people like that in our lives and we're like, wow, you said you were this and you said you were that and you weren't. You're a liar and you blah blah blah, and you're all hurt and offended, right? Well, look, they came to teach you something. Maybe not what you wanted or expected, but they did teach you something. They taught you what not to be. If you're all hurt and offended by that, well, then don't grow up to be like that, okay? That's the lesson I took away. I don't want to be like that. So anyway, what's happened is I reconnected with him purely out of curiosity, and then regretted it because because I didn't really care. I didn't care. And I was really curious to know, are you still an asshole? I mean, I'm just going to say it. Are you still the asshole that you were? Or have you grown? Because I've grown and changed. I've seen many of the errors of my ways. I've been through dark nights of the soul. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe this person has too. I don't know. And so, we stayed in contact longer than I wanted to, which was only we probably talked off and on for like 4 months. And what I came to learn rather quickly was, he's been an alcoholic ever since I've known him. Of course, as a 16-year-old, what would I know about that? You know what I mean? There were a lot of functioning alcoholics in my own family. So, excuse me, extended family. So anyway, we stayed in touch for a little bit, and most of the time I was really irritated with our during our conversations, because he would claim to, oh, I always, like talking to me about my ex. And he would be like, I tried to tell you he was a narcissist. And I'm like, I never heard of anybody talk about a narcissist or what that even was ever. And until I don't even know. Like, I remember the first time that I called my ex a narcissist, I wasn't even sure myself what that meant. I was just very sure it was him. It described him to a T. And then when I found out what a narcissist is, I was like, yes, that's legit. Like, I mean, yeah, that's it. So anyway, this guy's telling me, I always, and so his ministry was prophetic. So that's his thing. I hear from God and I tell people I could read your mail, blah, blah, blah. And so arrogant. So, like, I hear from God too. Okay. But not like it's intuitive. I've had some really powerful moments feeling the presence of God, intuitively picking up on what the direction and the guidance that I needed. And I knew it didn't come from me. And moments when I was all freaked out and upset, and I, tuned in to the Spirit, and what came to me were words that brought me peace and reminded me, enveloped me, kind of hugged me in love and let me know, you're all right. You're going to be all right. It's okay. So, here's this person acting like he's all that, talking to me like he wants to speak into my life about something or other, because he can hear from God. And I'm like, dude, you're still the same. You're still where you were when I knew you back when. Okay. And so I'm the kind of person I like to learn and grow. And if I realize that, I catch up with you and I realize you're still where you were when I knew you when I was 16, I want to know why. And here's the thing. You don't owe me an answer. You don't owe him, I wasn't going to hold him accountable. So I'm just talking to him, and I just mostly, a lot of times, it would just be very brief conversations, really. And because I would start getting irritated, and he would say stupid stuff like telling me I have a problem with God and whatever, and I'm like, no, I don't. And I didn't come right out and say, I have a problem with you. Because what I realized right away was I never should have contacted him. It was really kind of cruel. Like, oh, I just contacted you to see if you were still an asshole. I was just curious. I don't care about you, and I don't want to rekindle any kind of friendship with you because you weren't a good friend to me. Ultimately, you were not a good friend. Ultimately, what I learned from you is what not to do. Which, I mean, yeah, thank you, because it was a lesson. There were several lessons there. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. But also, was a really asshole kind of move on my part, too, to be like, I don't care about you. I'm just purely curious. It's really terrible, but there you have it. I'm human. I've got my shitty moments, too. So, hello. And I'm not acting like I got all my ducks in a row or whatever. I'm not trying to impress anybody. Obviously, I mean, please have these videos. I don't have my hair done or my makeup on or nothing, so please, I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just saying that I'm using this as my journal. And so here we are. And so anyway, I was just thinking about him this morning because... So we quit, we dropped contact because at one point he had been in and out of the hospital because he was going on these binge drinking things, basically trying to kill himself drinking. And, I would try to say things about it like, yeah, that's not good, I mean, hello. But anyway, so I think he ended up in the hospital again. I don't know. I don't really know because he just didn't text me. And I remember texting him and saying, hey, how you doing? I didn't hear back. And I thought, I don't know. You could be dead. And what? Like, I'm not knocking myself out to be a good friend to you because I didn't really want to pick up where we left off. I was just curious. And again, I know that's a shitty thing, and there you have it. So anyway, I left it alone. He stopped texting me. I left it, let sleeping dogs lie. Well, it's been probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. And all of a sudden, he's found me on Instagram. And every time I post something, he is commenting. And and here's the thing that's very telling. So I post something and he comments and he says things like, oh my God, you look so much like your mom. He'll say things like, in response to what I posted, that's so true, but so not so easy to live out or do or whatever. And then he would make remarks kind of like, almost like he wants people to know that he knows me, and he wants to make this personal connection like, I know you, I remember you from back in the day, and He wants to be part of the show. He wants to be part of the show. Well, here's the thing. I'm not putting on a show. I don't give a shit. Look, I want to be light and encouragement to people, but I'm over here living my life and being human and trying to deal with the stuff. And that's why I'm journaling about this, because he fucking gets on my nerves, okay? He just fucking gets on my nerves with his shit. And so when he reappeared, I didn't invite him. I didn't go looking for him again because, like I said, hello, that was an asshole move. I'm not going to do it again. So he's tried to reconnect with me on Facebook. He's tried to reconnect with me through Instagram by commenting on things. And I just haven't responded to him. I haven't responded. And I think I actually tried to hide some of his comments as well, because I was like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not opening the door to you. You can do what you want to do, but I'm not opening the door and saying, hey, it's you. Oh my God. No. Because you know what? In my older age, I've realized the value of being a kind and wise woman who does not suffer fools. Now, you might think, wow, that's a really harsh thing. You're calling your old friend a fool. Well, it's my prerogative. I'm allowed to decide who I will let in my front door. As a child, I chose to clamor after him and his wife because I thought, oh my gosh, he plays music. I love music. I'm a singer. I've always, I was very involved in church. I was on the worship team. I did solos. Woo-hoo-hoo, that was a huge part of my life. Revolved around all of that. So the thing is that I've gotten older and I've gotten a little wiser, and I know what I don't want in my life. And I don't need a friend like that. I don't need a friend like that. Somebody else can be his friend. Okay? Somebody else can be his friend. Now, I'm not going to publish his name and run his name in the mud. I don't care. Look, the choices he's made for himself are punishment enough, I think. He's literally tried to drink himself to death. God knows how many times. I don't know how many times. But that was clear to me the last time that I actually, was in conversation with him. Hey, quit. Hey, shh. Sorry. We're having noisy moments. So anyway, I feel like this is a thing the full moon is showing me. Some sore spots that are irritating me, that I would say, okay, I guess I need to talk about this. I need to heal. Is there something that's hurting me? It's just really, I feel like I don't feel hurt as much as I feel annoyed. He's come back. He's trying to get, it feels like he's knocking at my front door he wants to reconnect with me, and the only access he has to me is through social media, and I'm not responding. I'm giving him nothing. And that might seem like a cold, hard thing to do to somebody, but I am communicating. By my silence, I'm saying, no, thank you. Now, that's my prerogative. I don't have to open my door to everybody who knocks on it. And there's energy I'm not going to entertain in my life ever again. And that's just how that is. And that's actually an affirmation I've done for several years, that I want to be a wise and kind woman. Not nice. Oh no. Miss Nice Guy is gone. You know, I'm not a young girl anymore. I've lived and I know some shit because I've been through a lot of shit. So, you know, and I feel like him trying to, you know, him knocking on my door, hey, hey, how are you doing? Whatever, you know, it's not because we were such good friends. It's not because we had such good times together. There's nothing there, okay? And the kindest thing I can do, the wisest and kindest thing I could do for both of us is not open that door. Because today I would have words to say about his behavior and his mouth. You know, you don't know me. You haven't been part of my life in frickin' forever. So no, you're not going to step to me and talk to me like you know something, because you don't. I'm not going to let you get away with telling me that you used to tell me that this was this and that was that. No, you didn't. No, you frickin' didn't. You know? So yeah, it's just something that I've been thinking about, just that I'm not letting this person, and I've remained radio silent with him. And he did recently like a couple things that I posted, but he didn't comment anything. And I thought, that's fine. That you like all you want. And I don't care if you comment. Go ahead and comment. I'm not playing. And so that's just where I am in my older age. I know that there are people who think that's harsh, but you have no idea. You have no idea. And I'm happy to talk about why, you know, how I've come to this conclusion. It's not because I'm hard-hearted and hateful. You know, it's not because I'm angry and I don't have a sense of humor. Are you kidding me? The people who know me know I've got a sense of humor. So, and I can give as good as you give, you know, like I could dish it out and take it back. Like I am a playful, good-hearted person, and that's why I know that about me, and I don't have a problem saying, stop knocking at my door because I'm not opening, you know, or just go away. We're not open. You know, we're not open. So anyway, that's a thing. And there's other things that have come up. You know, things that have been irritating to me. And I'm not going to go into those things, but that it's just interesting to me. The full moon today, the full moon has really been shining a light on things that have been irritating me that I guess I haven't fully processed them and dealt with them. So I'm just kind of thinking like, okay, do I need to journal? Do I need to ask myself, you know, is there something that hurts? Or maybe I just need to hear myself out. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need to hear yourself out and be like, yeah, that's valid. That's actually valid. That's a valid point. You know? Yeah. So life comes at you fast and it's hard to process all the things sometimes. But I try. And like I said, I know the full moon, it has this effect. It has an effect on the tides on the planet. It affects a lot of things on the planet. And, you know, if it can affect the ocean, it affects the tides. You know, why would we think it wouldn't have some kind of effect on us? And I think it's really cool. You know, there are seasons and there are cycles. And I love how, I just love how that works. You know, like, hey, Mars, it's time for you to deal with these annoying things that have been getting on your nerves. Like, deal with them and let them go so that you're not dragging it around anymore. It's heavy baggage. This guy, you know, he's just heavy baggage. And you need to let go of your disappointment and the hurt. You know, I guess I have been hurt and disappointed for a long time, since I was a young adult and realized, oh, you're really a jerk, you know, and I don't want to be associated with you. And slowly I started pulling, you know, away from them. And they got a divorce. He and his wife got a divorce. And I don't, you know, their business is their business. The thing is, the full moon is trying to tell me, hey, girl, lighten your load. You're dragging around all this garbage. Get rid of it. What do you do with garbage? You put it in the dumpster and forget about it. Somebody's going to pick it up and haul it off, you know? So I guess that's what I need to do. I need to make a list, maybe. I need to think about and just ask intuitively, just ask the spirit to show me, or my spirit team to show me what it is I need to do to let go and release. You know, what things do I need to acknowledge in myself that need love and healing, you know? And then what things do I need to just say, FTS, man, I'm done with that shit, you know? So chuck it in the fuck it bucket, because we're done. So anyway, that's that. That's all I have to say. It was a lot of stuff that I just said, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I make these videos and I think, am I going to really put this on YouTube? But that's the whole point. You know, like, I'm doing these videos for me. It is a pretty cool way for me to journal. So, but also, you know, it's kind of vulnerable too. La-di-da. I mean, anyway, sorry, just rambling now. Bye.